Hi, my name is Susanna Braun. I'm here to share our story with pancreatic cancer and our family. It has affected more than one person in our family already. Um, One has passed away, the other one is doing much better, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you um, exactly what we did um, to make this road go different this time than it did last time. My husband passed away in 2009, March, of pancreatic cancer. I did a bunch of research, and now it was my son. He's 27 years old. He just turned 28 the 30th of October. And my son is doing much better. Although he had a very big surgery, he had a 4-pound tumor removed with roots and all. Um, the 10th of this September 2019. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little bit of a layout what went on in our family. First, I'm gonna do the disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving anyone medical advice. I'm sharing our success story, what we did, and what has worked up to here. Currently, we're very happy with the outcome, the way things have come along. I wish I would have known this for my husband. I didn't, unfortunately, and he's gone, so I had to raise my family on my own, and my son is the only one that I have. I have 3 girls after him, and I wasn't ready to bury him. And if I would have just depended on advice and help from outside, he would be not with us anymore. We were told straight up that he was not going to be here. Um, so yeah, I have a book where I wrote things down. I'm going to go through point by point. If I look down, that's because I'm looking at my notes. I'm a bit nervous. I've been working on the thought of this for a month already. Um, couldn't get myself really to do it because I got too nervous each time just the thought of it, but it's got to be done. Um, Something has got to count for something that we still have um, my son here and he's doing well. So, yes, I believe I said I'm not a doctor. This is no medical advice whatsoever. This is solely our story, our success story. I would count it. Um, that is it. And we're happy to share it with everyone. So at the end of June, my son came home and said, "Mom, I can't work anymore. I am weak. I can't do this anymore." And one look at his face, and I noticed his face was yellow. The whites in his eyes were yellow, and he was so weak he couldn't even make his own tea or coffee. He was sitting by the table and he said, "Mom, I don't know what to do." So then I took him to the hospital, to the emergency. Um, they had one look and they said, "No, he's got a tumor going on. It's got to come out." They were just concerned about the tumor. I said, "I believe there's a deeper problem than that." And they said they were really concerned about the tumor coming out because it was really big. Um, they did a bunch of tests and stuff, and so they referred him to one surgeon after another in a big city, and he was told no. They didn't have time, and this needed to be done in a hurry. So he was basically told no. No one was willing to take him on. So then I knew a very far drive from our house, a 4-hour drive. One doctor who may take him on just to do the surgery. But in the meantime, I already knew what we were dealing with before we had any diagnosis. I could just see it was a repeat of my husband, and I had studied in depth what possibly could help my son. So I right away proceeded with that, and he right away started changing. His color started changing. Um, he started eating, uh, and him being really weak, um, went away. He started getting a bit stronger. Um, he had all the symptoms. I didn't need to look any further. I could see exactly, and I knew what to do with it. Um, so he had yellowing of the eyes and the face, weak. His stool color changed. He had major back pain. Um, and also a person, it's been my experience, a person with pancreatic problems, they also have mood issues. So my husband, he was really moody. He was really upset a lot of the times. And I saw a repeat here again. Um, yeah, and I was saying about the stool and stuff. It was changing. Um, it was not what I liked to see at all. I was not ready to let him go. Um, Even if it would have been one of my daughters, I wasn't ready to let them go. Um, my kids are my kids. Um, so uh, the tumor that they pulled out of him, they first thought it was just a lymphoma, and it was going to come out in a very small cut, and it was going to pop out, and it was going to be a clean, small incision and done. Didn't happen like that. He came out much later than they had anticipated, and as the doctor had described, there was roots all over, all the way back to his vertebrae, um, and we could feel them. They were all the way around back to his vertebrae. Um, the same doctors that had not taken him on as a patient, for one reason or another, later called and asked what hospital he was in, where I had put him for palliative care. He isn't. Um, his color came back really quick once I knew exactly what I was up against, and I gave him the right things, just superfoods. Um, I had studied really heavily to be prepared for this if it happened again. I wasn't willing to let a family member go to the graveyard if I could help it. Um, and all of this has been without any pain medication, with including his surgery, without chemo, without anything. Not saying it will always work like that, but for my son, so far it has worked. We don't know if we're out of the woods yet, but he's doing really well. Considering, um, I am tempted to put a link below in the YouTube video, um, to show you pictures of what before and after. I know I can't put them here in a YouTube video. I believe my video would be taken down. My Facebook account got taken down. It was very graphic. So I will probably go ahead and put it underneath, in a link, so that you can see what has been happening, and that way you're forewarned. You know what's there. It's gruesome. It looks big. The cut looks big. Um, so yeah, that being said, we were told that pancreatic cancer runs in the family. Um, when it does go in the DNA and in the genes, it goes later and later in life. At the age of 70, 80 is to be expected, and eventually we'll venture off, and we won't have to worry about it. Our case hasn't been like that. My son's grandma, she was 73. She died of pancreatic cancer. My son's father passed away at 43 of pancreatic cancer, and my son, 27 now. So what we were told, that it would taper off and we wouldn't have to worry about it. um, wasn't our case. Um, and so now, since June till now, when my son has been on the superfoods, his blood work comes back normal. It comes back good. In between, what I would like to mention is, in between, um, from June till now, we ran out of certain kind of vitamins that I ordered from the States. And so we went locally and purchased them, and things were going downhill really fast. Sometimes we live in Canada, and sometimes our shipments come in late, and so I try to cover the gap until we had our new shipment in. Um, while he was on locally purchased items, things were going downhill. It was not helping him. And then once he was back on the stuff that I had ordered from the States from a special company, he was back up and going again, improving. Um, some of the things we have to be careful. Um, I learned the hard way. Not everything is um, clean and natural as we would believe it to be. I learned the hard way, and so yeah, I'm sticking to one company and one company only. When I went for our research on YouTube to look and see how we could go about this, I saw so many death stories. It cringed my heart to see. And I thought, no, and now my son is supposed to be another one. Then I remembered what I had studied and found. What was, in fact, going to be maybe helping us, and it did. So far, it did. Not saying it's a cure. We still have him here, and he's doing a lot better. He celebrated his birthday. His yellowness in the eyes is gone. His yellowness in the face is gone. Um, he has energy. He still can't work really hard due to the fact that he had this big incision. Um, but he is a much happier person overall. He has enthusiasm for life. He's a car enthusiast, so he's back into that as where before he gave up all hope. Um, I'm not saying that we're finished with our journey, but it has turned the tide. For now, we're doing much better than what it was at. Um, all his tests are coming back as normal. Um, so yeah, if you enjoyed the video that I just had, um, thumbs up, subscribe. I continually want to take you on the journey with his improvement or whatever happens. This is going to be his story, how he's doing. And so, all the best. Bye for now.